Hey everyone. Yeah, I thought I'd kind of do a little bit of a Survivor Series preview booking show, if you will. Kind of like, well, preview Survivor Series, kind of predict as a fan how I'd like to see it go, or as fans would like to see it go, and also kind of book it the way I think it's going to be booked. Now, as far as the Survivor Series goes, I know some people like the Schleg Daddy, maybe the British Fizz, Chase Oliver, maybe the Solid Monster, Don and Tony. You know, I know some people are probably not looking really forward to Survivor Series on Sunday. I mean, when you think about it, the matches you have lined up, they may look good on paper, but really, where's the meaning to some of them? I mean, there is meaning. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, what's the point in some of them happening? I mean, first of all, let's take a look at what has been added recently. What has been added recently is a traditional Survivor Series match involving the Divas. You pretty much knew this was coming. I mean, there had been reports that you could have had Team Nikki against Team Bree, but instead it's going to be Team Natalya versus Team Paige. And on Natalya's team, you've got Cameron. Not Cameron. On Natalya's team, you've got Alicia Fox, Naomi, and Emma. So you got, on one side, you got Natalya, Alicia Fox, Naomi, and Emma. On the other side, you've got Paige, Cameron, Summer Rae, and Layla. That's who you have on the other side. Now, obviously, this is a showcase for the Total Divas, especially with the fact that Paige is joining Total Divas. Now, who do I see winning here? Well, it's kind of a toss-up. I know some people will say this is the piss break, that they're going to head for the shitter and be done with it. Okay, fine. But where do you really go from here? You know what I'm saying? Where do you really go from here with this match? Who do you win? Who do you let win? Well, obviously, prediction-wise, if you're a fan of any of these divas, and honestly, I like Naomi. I like Natalya, the great in-ring talents. Emma is there. She just hasn't been able to give it a chance to showcase it. Maybe Sunday she will. Alicia has really improved, there's no doubt. I mean, she is talented in the ring. She was I guess you could say, a semi-dominant Divas champion. But, then on the other hand, on the other side, you have Paige, you have Cameron, you have Layla, and Summer Rae. So the question is, where do they go with that? Well, obviously, you want to keep Paige relevant. You want to keep pushing her probably to another feud for the Divas title. Cameron, obviously, she's in there to continue her rivalry with Naomi. Summer Rae and Layla, I guess you might want to keep them still in the spotlight as the Slayers, maybe. I can't really say exactly where they would go with this. But prediction-wise, if it's about Total Divas, I would have to say go with maybe Team Natalya. It just makes sense. And if I'm going to bring it down to one-on-one, which I think, honestly, if there's going to be anything that saves this match, and that probably piques people's interest, is you bring it down to a one-on-one situation, and you bring it down to the two most talented divas in that ring. And to me, obviously you got to go Paige, Natalia. You got to. Or maybe even Paige, Naomi. You got to go in one of those directions. Because to me, if you at least dwindle it down to one-on-one, it might pique people's interest, and it might get them a little interest in this, a little bit interested in this match, and maybe even back into the division. But it's all about deciding who you go with, how you book and end this match. So I would have Team Natalia win, booking it that way if I was WWE. As well as a fan, I would like to see that happen. But also, I would like it to dwindle down to where it's Paige on one side and it's either Natalia or Naomi on the other. Because I think even with the short time these ladies are going to get, or maybe they'll get some decent time, I don't know, we should have, if it comes down to one-on-one, a decent opener, as far as I'm concerned, if they do it that way, to Survivor Series. They should. We should, honestly. Then we have a fatal four-way, a four-way dance for the WWE Tag Team titles. We have Goldust and Stardust defending against the Usos, Los Matadores, and Mizdow. The Miz and Sandow. So, how do I look at this match? Well, we knew eventually they were going to do something. Now, what would make this match even better is they add in the elimination stipulation, which would tie into Survivor Series. That way, you can dwindle it down to two teams. Maybe two teams people expect, maybe two teams people wouldn't expect. But if I'm WWE, I would add the elimination concept. Maybe they have, I don't know. But prediction-wise, it's really a toss-up. It's really a toss-up, you know. I mean, if you're a fan of Goldust and Stardust's gimmick as a team, then I'd say stay with them. But on the other hand, if I'm the WWE, and I know that the fans are getting behind my heel tag team of Miz and Sandow, Mizdow, if you will, then obviously, if I'm booking it, if I'm WWE and I'm booking it, I'm booking Mizdow to win the tag team titles. Because you can't ignore the popularity this team, especially Sandow, the popularity this team is getting, this gimmick that this team has. Especially, you cannot deny what Sandow is getting as the reaction he's getting. And to me, it would work out potentially well from a storyline aspect, even if you decide to break them up down the line. And if you're behind the Miz, if you're getting behind the Miz again, it basically would give him bragging rights, if you will, to say that he's been tag team champion, four different partners. He's been tag team champion with Morrison. He's been tag team champion with Cena, with Big Show. And now he'd be tag team champion with Sandow. 4 different partners in the short time he's been with that company. Nobody can really say that. Nobody can really say that they've been tag team champions with 4 different partners and they haven't been in the company for nearly a decade. They haven't been an active competitor in that company for a decade. And that's saying something if you're the Miz. That's saying something if you're the Miz. But again, this is only if WWE is getting behind the Miz again, especially if they're finally getting behind the whole Mizdow-Sandow deal. That's why I would do it. Now, as a fan, pretty much I'd want the same thing. I'd want Mizdow to win. Behind them, though, I'd probably like to see Los Matadores win it to kind of give them that little bit of an underdog feel. Like, here's a team you didn't think was going to become the tag team champions, and yet they've done it, and they've done it on a Big 4 pay-per-view. It'd be great for Primo and Epico. under the new gimmick to do that. I really think so. And you know what? And you know what would really be a saving grace too? To really get this Los Matadores taken seriously? You know, it would be a good shocking moment afterwards, because Survivor Series has been known to have that. If you were to go with Los Matadores winning, have them basically take off the mask and reveal the Primo and Epico underneath. I mean, pretty much everybody knows that anyway. But have them officially do it and say, hey, we're now the champions. We don't need this ridiculous gimmick. We're going back to who we were before. And I think it would work. Or, if you want to, after whoever the WWE decides to make champions, best thing to do, if you want a team to make an impact, have the Ascension show up and destroy whoever the tag team champions are, thus sending a message that they are there for the tag team titles. I think that would be a great impact for the Ascension in a debut on the main roster. Now, as far as AJ and Nikki go, there's a lot of rumors going around that AJ is going to exit the WWE. But yet she's booked all the way up to TLC. But nothing afterwards. Now, sometimes if they're not booked for anything afterwards, it's because sometimes, if not most times, they don't have everything booked up. They don't have everything set up, match card-wise, for live events in Raws and SmackDowns, just like that. They don't have that all set up yet. So just because she's not booked after TLC doesn't mean she isn't. Now, let's not also forget that Vince McMahon has been high on AJ. He likes AJ. So to me, this whole AJ Nikki Bella match for the Divas Championship, it'll be good. I mean, obviously the Bellas have proven that they've gotten better. But the question is, where do you go with it? Who do you put the belt on? Who do you keep? Who walks out with the belt? Well, if Nikki wins, there could be two scenarios. One, she can win because she's ordering Brie to help her win. Or two, this whole Nikki Brie rivalry could be nothing more than a sham, if you will, a charade to basically get the Bellas the Divas Championship into possession, which I think would be interesting in a sense, because then you would basically have them back to being the heel Bellas, but then you would have a reason why people like AJ would want to tear them apart. So that might work. But then again, like I said, you could have Nikki win, and because Brie's slavery to her servitude to her is ending, you could do a Brie-Nikki feud for the Divas title. Yeah, I know some people are not looking forward to that if it happens, but that's a possibility. And if I'm WWE and I still want to promote Total Divas, then I go with Nikki Bella. But if I'm Vince McMahon and I have the final say, I think it's kind of 50-50, but I think they may keep AJ as the champion, and we may end up having maybe a triple threat down the line for the Divas title at TLC, with maybe Brie winning the championship to end the year. Just my opinion. As a fan, I would like to see AJ win. So not only can she retain the belt, but we can also at the same time end this whole Bella servitude portion of their feud, and just end the feud entirely at TLC with maybe a triple threat match for the title. That's the way I look at it. Now, as far as Ambrose and Wyatt go, there is no doubt that this is going to be a good one. Both are tremendous workers in the ring. Both have proven themselves on the mic. Both have proven to be main event caliber guys. But now they just need to have the time and the place to prove that they can go and get it done in front of a huge audience at Survivor Series, and especially on a Big Four pay-per-view. And you know what? This is that opportunity.